Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year is a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, which helps us start each day on a positive note. But looking back at the end of 2023, the reality is that the year has been a collection of different kinds of days: good and bad, delightful and depressing, and superb and somber, for the individual or the nation. India's 2023 had all these elements: a buoyant GDP and a bleak employment scenario, new infra and old red tape, and united by cricket and divided by religion. Here are 4 top-of-the-mind facets of India's 2023. 1. Moon landing. Well, not quite putting a man on the moon, but doing the next best thing. Soft landing the Vikram lander, releasing the Pragyan rover, and maneuvering it on the lunar surface. What was significant about it? 1. The entire project was masterminded by engineers and scientists drawn mostly from Tier 2 and Tier 3 colleges in India. Imagine the depth of scientific talent available in the country. And 2. The minimalist budget. The entire project cost a mere 6 billion rupees, roughly the cost of a big budget movie in India or Hollywood. 2. Manipur misery. Before 2023, we had one simmering pain point, Kashmir. Now we have another one in Manipur. Ethnic strife, tribal warfare, religious clash, or whatever we call it, it has led to a division of minds. Some of the Manipur visuals will torment us a long time. The Manipuris all their lives. Women paraded naked and abused being just one of them. This week we had the burial of the 87 Cookie Zoo victims a good 7 months after the killings happened. The oldest to be buried was a 70-year-old woman, and the youngest, a month-old infant, unfortunate to be born in violence-hit India, to die in a month. The report said there was a gun salute by the village defense volunteers at the funeral. Since when have civilians started giving gun salutes at a funeral? And Manipur has had an internet shutdown for the majority of the year, more than 180 days. The rest of us cannot stand an internet slowdown for a minute. Forget having an internet shutdown for more than half the year. And by the way, I have had no information about 2 of my friends of my younger days, Chaubal Mithe and Inaumacha Maithe. 3. Migration mania. Student migration out of India has reached such proportions that it is close to maniacal, making overseas education consultancy one of the fastest growing sectors in the country. In 2022 alone, 750,000 Indian students went abroad for studies. This year, that number is expected to touch 1 million students. Of course, our youth are aspirational, but the point is their aspiration seems to be lying outside of the country. What is difficult to understand is why our youth are going not just to developed countries, but even to countries that are worse off than India, like Afghanistan, Mozambique, Somalia, Nauru, and Moldova. The Week reported earlier this year that even in the IITs, NITs, and IIITs, over 7,000 seats in PG courses and over 3,000 seats in PhD programs were vacant. Also, that Indian students occupy over 40% seats at Moldova's only state-run medical university. At this week's IIT Kharagpur convocation, President Draupadi Murmu lamented not a single Indian educational institution was in the world's top 50. She was being polite. There is no Indian university in the top 100, 150, or even 200 in the Times Higher Education's latest World University Rankings 2024. The best from India, IISc Bangalore, is in the 201 to 250 band. 4. Mimicry of democracy. The opposition has been saying that the ruling party is diminishing India's democracy. This week, the opposition added its own theatrics when Trinamool Congress leader Kalyan Banerjee derisively mimicked Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, even as 146 opposition MPs were suspended. With such drama and mimicry, India's citizens would rightly wonder if the state and the opposition were making a mockery of them and bid goodbye to 2023 with a gasp. This episode of Geometric View salutes 24-year-old Salva Marjan from Kozhikode, Kerala, who has set her sights on formula racing. Motorsport is traditionally a male bastion, but Salva is challenging those stereotypes and aiming for the moon, and currently practicing in the UAE. Her parents Kunyamo and Subeda are hopeful that Salva will be India's first female F1 racer. On a personal note, my own moonbeam moment of 2023 came on November 26, when I finished a half marathon, 21 kilometers, a long-standing dream.